Stop. One breath. Before you say another word, ask yourself this. Do you still believe speaking faster makes you stronger? Do you still think explaining yourself prevents attack? Do you still hope that being clear will make people kinder? Here's the dangerous truth you were trained not to see. Noise is bait. Reaction is leverage given to someone else. And silence, used correctly, bends the room. It slows time, starves chaos, and makes your words land like iron when you finally choose to speak. This is not motivation, this is control. 500 years ago, Niccolo Machiavelli told you what crowds don't want to hear. Appearances move people, not essence. Your frantic clarifications don't change the eye. Your calm presence does. Today, I'm handing you the non-reaction protocol, a practical system to replace panic with gravity. So meetings shift, negotiations soften, and disrespect folds without you raising your voice. It isn't about becoming cold, it's about refusing to be harvested. Lock it in, drop this in the comments, silence first, words last. Step 1, kill the reflex. Most people speak to relieve their own anxiety, not to advance outcomes. They fill every gap because silence feels like danger. That is precisely why silence works. When you stop rushing, other people's habits become visible. Who interrupts? Who masks fear with jokes? Who confuses urgency with importance? You stop feeding their loops and start reading them. Machiavelli's animal parable makes the rule simple. The lion cannot protect himself from snares, nor the fox defend himself from wolves. Your silence is the fox. It reveals the trap. Your eventual speaking is the lion. It sets the cost. Here's the non-reaction protocol. 6 moves. Use them exactly. Low, slow, final. Move 1, the pause. When someone rushes you, interrupts you, or throws a loaded question, do not speed up to prove you're easy. Stop for 2 slow beats. Look at them. Then finish your sentence. The pause is not empty air. It's a mirror. It makes the room feel the interruption more than any lecture ever could. The first time you do it, your chest will scream to fill the space. Don't. Predators sprint. Rulers stroll. Move 2, the period. Turn every rising, apologetic tale into a clean stop. We'll do option A. I don't do last minute. A period converts opinion into decision. A decision attracts compliance or confrontation. Both are useful. Compliance moves work. Confrontation identifies the problem in daylight. Move 3, the window. Your attention is not public property. You respond in windows you set, not in panic. Urgency without preparation isn't urgent, it's lazy. When you point to the window, people learn to arrive prepared, or they self-select out. Your silence is no longer passivity, it's a schedule. Move 4, the mirror. When bait shows up, sarcastic jokes, moral pressure, faux compliments that ask for a discount, you don't argue identity. You reflect behavior. You don't defend your heart. You restate your terms. The mirror tells the room who they are without a sermon. Move 5, the funnel. Chaos spreads horizontally. Side chats, back-channel edits, hallway decisions. You containerize conflict in one venue, where truth is measurable. The agenda, the scope doc, the deadline thread. You're not avoiding the fight, you're forcing it where your receipts live. Silence toward side channels is not avoidance, it's a gate. Move 6, the ledger. After every important interaction, you drop the boring summary. Decisions, owners, dates. No adjectives, nouns and verbs. When someone tries to rewrite history, your file is the wall. Rooms trust walls. Your calm, repetitive ledgers make loud people look unserious without you saying a single spicy word. Now put the protocol in rooms you actually live in. Work. Meeting that always eats an hour. New you, silence until your window. Then, I review at 2. Half the urgent evaporates. The rest arrives prepared. Your silence turned chaos into standards. Your day stopped dissolving in other people's lack of planning. Meeting. Old you laughs to appear easygoing and dies a little inside. New you, 5 beats of quiet. The room feels the fence and the finish. You didn't scold, you steered. Negotiation. Old you writes paragraphs about value. Silence. Let them sit with a real choice. If they push, you don't flurry. You just swapped tug of war for chess. Romance. Old you answers with witty crumbs. New you doesn't. Next day, I don't do last minute. If they tease your rules, you have the answer. They wanted flexibility, not you. If they schedule, your yes is still warm and finally worth something. Family. Old you writes a novel. New you, I care. And I won't. Then silence. Guilt is a hook that needs your mouth. Close it and the hook falls. You will feel withdrawal. The first week you pause, period, window, mirror, funnel, ledger, someone will call you rigid. That's the old economy trying to invoice your nervous system. Pay with silence. Then watch the market correct. Invitations get earlier. Requests get clearer. The room stops mistaking your kindness for public access. 2 drills to hardwire this in 24 hours. Drill A. Write your 3 default lines now and save them where your thumbs can find them. Copy-paste is courage. Habits are built before the moment, not inside it. Drill B. Choose 1 repeat disrespect and pre-price it where it lives. Interruptions? You stop, reclaim your sentence, finish. Chronic lateness? No recap. Last-minute cancels? Next slot is weekday coffee, or requires a deposit. Execute once, then go quiet. Behavior changes when cost becomes boring and certain. Ethical frame so this power stays clean. Silence is not a weapon for cruelty. It's a boundary that keeps you from funding chaos. You're not playing statue to punish people. You're being deliberate so your speech has purchase. The goal isn't to dominate rooms. It's to stop donating your composure to rooms that haven't earned it. When you do speak, it's to decide, not to beg. What happens next looks like magic but isn't. Your pulse stays slower while other people race. Your answers shorten while your influence grows. People stop testing you with noise because noise no longer moves you. And the few who genuinely respect you will love you more because your presence now calms the building. They can feel the floor again. Binary choice. You can keep reacting to every prod and be the easiest lever in the room, or you can become the fulcrum, silent, steady, bending the room without force. If this hit where you live, like the video, subscribe and hit the bell for part, where we install the silence cadence, exact timing for pauses that flip power dynamics, and 2 Machiavellian lines to inoculate you against moral blackmail so you never explain your standards again. Comment your pledge. Silence first, words last. Stop. 1 breath. If your first instinct is to answer faster, defend harder, and fill every gap with words, you've already given up the steering wheel. The fastest talker rarely leads. He leaks. The person who holds the room is the one who can let a moment hang without flinching, who refuses to trade composure for approval, who speaks only when it moves the outcome. Today, you're installing that power, not theory, cadence. Exact timings, word-for-word lines, and the quiet architecture that makes your silence feel like gravity instead of absence. Before we move, drop this in the comments to set your nervous system. Silence first, words last. Here's the brutal reset. Rooms judge posture before proof. You can be right on paper and still lose the table because you bled urgency. You don't need to feel unshakable. You need to appear unshakable long enough for your systems to deliver. The eye decides before the hand confirms. Your silence is the costume. Your consistency is the character that keeps it true. Now the silence cadence. 4 beats that bend rooms without a speech. Run them exactly, the timing matters. Beat 1, 2-beat pause. When you're interrupted, baited, or rapid-fired, do not speed up to prove you're easy. Stop for 2 slow beats. Look at the person, then finish your sentence. That tiny pause does 3 things at once. It marks the interruption as out of bounds without drama, it lets your words re-enter with weight, and it exposes who in the room can't handle quiet. You didn't correct anyone, you calibrated the air. Beat 2, 5-second hold. After you land a decision, "We'll do A by Friday," go still for 5 seconds. Don't justify, don't soften, don't add caveats. Let the silence do what your paragraphs never could. Signal finality. Most pushback burns off inside that 5-second vacuum. What survives is the real issue worth solving. Beat 3, 7-word decisions. When you do speak, compress. 7 to 12 words, nouns and verbs. Your voice becomes a gavel, not a river. Notice what happens to chronic arguers, jokers, and derailers when there's nothing soft to grab. Either they align or they expose themselves. Beat 4, 1-window response. You don't drip replies all day. You review at set windows. Everything else is air. Silence outside your window is not neglect, it's policy. People who respect you will prepare. People who used you will pout. Both outcomes serve you. Let's put cadence into rooms you actually live in. Work. At 10:57. Old you, sure, and you just donated an hour to someone else's poor planning. New you, silence until your window. Then, I review at 2. Half the urgent dies. The rest arrives ready. Your silence turned chaos into a standard. The meeting dig. Old you laughs to look easy and eats resentment later. New you, 2 beats of quiet. 5-second hold. You didn't explain your worth. You fenced the room and finished the work. Negotiation. Old you sends a novel proving value. New you, 5-second hold. Then, silence. Tug of war becomes chess. Your silence forces a choice instead of a debate. Romance. Old you delivers banter. New you delivers policy. Next afternoon, I don't do last minute. If they tease your rules, you have your answer. If they schedule, your yes is worth something again. Family. If you cared, you would. Old you writes a biography. New you, I care, and I won't. Then quiet. Guilt needs your mouth to hook into. Close it, and the hook falls. No defense, no memoir. Standards, not sentiments. You're going to feel withdrawal. That's the old economy screaming because you stopped subsidizing it. Hold. Translated to non-reaction, make the correction once, cleanly, new policy, new pace, new terms, then deliver your benefits gradually, replies within your window, access that grows with reliability, praise that comes after results. One decisive boundary, many small rewards. That's how adults learn. First ends the bleed. Second offers a gate. Third protects the venue where your receipts live. If you say nothing else all week, say these. Exactly. The optics engine that makes your silence look like leadership, not aloofness, is boring and unstoppable. 1-sentence decisions. Every time. Colleagues start mirroring you. That's when you know the room is bending. The window. Pin your review at 2-line to your email signature or chat status. Refer to it instead of improvising. People stop pinging you like a vending machine because the machine now has posted hours. Receipt rhythm. After important calls, send a 3-line recap. Decisions, owners, dates. No adjectives. When conflict appears, you don't perform, your file performs. Rooms trust mirrors, not monologues. The physical anchor. Choose one physical cue to trigger your cadence under stress. Thumb and ring finger press. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Train it in quiet, deploy it under fire. Your body needs a handle when your mind wants to sprint. Run a 7-day field test. Day 1 through 2. Install the window. Tell your world when you review. Hold it once. You'll feel like you're letting balls drop. You're not. You're forcing them to bounce in a rhythm you can actually play. Day 3 through 4. Replace 2 paragraphs with a period. Take one decision you normally over-explain and land it in a single sentence. Then, 5-second hold. Watch who can breathe without your sugar. Day 5. Use the mirror once. Do not litigate the past. Then, move the agenda forward. Day 6. Funnel one messy thread into the arena. If they refuse, you don't chase. You just keep your work on rails and let their chaos tire itself out in the alley. Day 7. Ledger. Send boring summaries for the week's key decisions. 3 lines each. That file will save you months of heartache later. It also makes you look like the adult, without a single humble brag. Second week, messages arrived with bullet points. Third week, throughput up 18%. Nothing mystical, just cadence. A senior PM stopped recapping for late arrivals. First 2 meetings hurt feelings. By week 3, everyone was 5 minutes early. Silence can be the kindest teacher because it teaches without shame. Your ethical guardrail so this doesn't rot your soul? Silence is not a weapon to humiliate people. It's a refusal to finance chaos. You're not freezing people out. You're forcing conversations to happen where facts live and respect is cheap. You can be warm after you're clear. You can be generous after you've enforced the fence. Power that requires volume is weak. Power that survives silence is real. Binary choice. You can keep sprinting to fill every gap and be the easiest lever in the room, where I'll wire in stealth dominance. How to control tempo with silence in negotiations, interviews, and confrontations, and 2 conversation traps you'll never step in again. Drop your pledge. Silence first, words last. Stop. 1 breath. Imagine walking into a room where everyone is competing for oxygen. Updates flying, jokes masking insecurity, questions loaded like traps, and you don't race them. You slow the air. You don't defend. You don't decorate. You let silence do what speeches never could. Sort the adults from the noise. The weak feel threatened by quiet because it exposes them. The strong feel relieved by quiet because it organizes them. Today, you'll learn to make your silence do 3 things at once: control tempo, force clarity, and raise cost, so you get obedience without theatrics and respect without asking. Here's the spine. Rooms move at the speed of the most anxious person until someone with a slower pulse sets the clock. That's your job. Not to be ice, just to be deliberate. Read it again. That's not passivity. That's calibrated pressure. You don't reward heat, you reward structure. When you stop reacting on demand, you don't become distant, you become decisive. Here's the stealth dominance loop. 3 places you'll use silence to bend rooms without announcing the bend. Negotiations. Most people try to win with volume. More features, more logic, more lines. You're going to win with gravity. Old you would argue value or apologize into a discount. Then silence. The tug of war becomes chess because you replaced feelings with a choice. If they threaten to walk, you don't chase. You widen the window for the right client to find you. That 5-second quiet is not emptiness, it's a bill. The longer they leave it unpaid, the more aware they are of your standard. Interviews. Candidates and interviewers both hemorrhage power by trying to sound impressive. You won't. Then you stop. They'll either invite depth, tell me more, or reveal they only wanted theater. If you are the interviewer, ask one clean question and then go silent. Let them fill the space. The insecure fill silence with adjectives. The competent fill it with nouns and verbs. You're not fishing for perfection, you're screening for composure under vacuum. That's who survives pressure. Confrontations. The room gets hot. Someone slides a jab dressed as a joke. Old you smiled to keep the peace and died inside. New you makes the room feel the wrong. 2-beat pause. 5-second hold. Notice what happened. You didn't litigate motives, you fenced behavior and finished the work. Silence did the policing without a lecture. The decision did the healing without a hug. If you want this quiet power to last, you need a discipline around your mouth. Translation for real life. Speak like everything you say will be replayed in a room that doesn't like you, because it will. Your words should look good on paper before they ever sound good out loud. 3 silence tactics that make that discipline automatic. The two-handle answer. Whenever someone asks a question that invites you to ramble, answer in 2 handles. Outcome plus mechanism. Outcome, reduced churn 18%. Then stop. If they want more, they'll ask for a handle. If they don't, you didn't pay extra. The refusal without memoir. When someone tries to conscript your time with faux urgency, don't write a biography of your boundaries. That doesn't work for me. Here's what does. I review messages at 2. You just trained them to arrive prepared without performing shame. The mirror, not the monologue. When bait appears, relax, it was a joke. You don't explain why jokes can be harmful in the workplace. If guilt shows up, a good teammate would. You don't nominate yourself to the confessional. Silence is the courtroom. Your line is the gavel. Now, 2 traps that make strong people weak and how your silence walks around them. Trap 1. The clarification spiral. You're accused of being difficult, cold, not a team player, and you take the stand to prove your good heart. That's bait. The more you clarify, the more you communicate that your reputation is up for public negotiation. You're done. Correct play, one line that names the fence, not your feelings. Then do excellent work loudly enough that the room's memory becomes your results, not your defense. Trap 2. The virtue test. Old you debated ethics. New you refuses the premise. I care, and I won't. Silence. If they escalate to character attacks, your stillness exposes their manipulation faster than any philosophy could. You're not cold, you're refusing to let affection subsidize chaos. Make it physical so your body can carry you when your brain wants to sprint. Anchor 1. The finger press. Thumb to ring finger under the table. Hold during every pause. It gives your nervous system a job so your mouth doesn't take one. Anchor 2. The measured breath. Inhale 4, exhale 6 through the nose whenever heat rises. You're not calming yourself to be nice, you're flooding your bloodstream with enough oxygen to keep your words expensive. Anchor 3. The eye set. When interrupted, lift your gaze, 2-beat pause, then calmly finish your sentence. You're not staring to intimidate, you're signaling the floor is still yours. 3 field drills for the next 7 days. Do them exactly. Drill 1. The window. Pin I review messages at 2 to your chat email status. Share it once in a team channel. Then hold it for 5 business days. By day 5, messages will arrive with bullet points and attachments. That's not cold, that's culture. Drill 2. The period. Take one decision you historically over-explain and land it in 7 to 12 words. 5-second hold. Don't add sugar. If someone needs more, they'll ask a real question. Drill 3. The ledger. After key calls, send a 3-line recap. Decisions, owners, dates. No adjectives. Your future self will worship your current self for this. Also, loud people look small next to ledgers. You'll feel the solitude of discipline. The first Friday you don't apology text at midnight, the quiet will feel like loss. It's not. It's the sound of your power returning. Do not refill it with chaos. Use it for compound interest: training, sleep, reading, saving, calling 3 people who make you sharper. Silence is not empty, it's capacity. Ethical frame so this strength stays clean. Silence is not punishment. It's a refusal to finance dynamics that damage everyone in slow motion. You're not withholding affection, you're refusing to reward disorganization. When people choose to meet you in structure, you meet them with warmth. You can be kind once, be clear always. Without clarity, your kindness becomes someone else's extraction. What happens next looks like magic. It isn't. The room slows when you enter. People stop testing you with noise because noise doesn't move you. The few who were actually on your side feel relieved. You're the floor now. The ones who fed on your urgency will look for a new host. Let them. You're not here to be consumed. You're here to decide. Binary choice. You can keep answering every ping like a servant waiting for a bell, then wonder why your respect never compounds. Or you can be the person who bends rooms with cadence and keeps every promise because you protected the oxygen to deliver. Stop. One breath. Before you open your mouth, answer this. Do you still believe your value is proven by how much you talk, how fast you reply, how quickly you jump? Or are you ready to flip the entire board so rooms slow down when you enter, decisions harden when you speak, and disrespect dies on contact? Here's the dangerous truth you were trained not to see. Power isn't louder, it's heavier. And silence, built into your systems, posted in public, and forced without emotion, creates that weight. Today, we're installing your public architecture, the windows, the fences, the ledgers, and the scoreboards that make even your enemies advertise your standards for you. Not therapy, not motivation, control. Lock it in. First, anchor the philosophy so your tactics never wobble. Translation: people respond to the surface and the now. Your frantic explanations feed the surface. Your timelines and receipts shape it. That's why public structure beats private sincerity. In our world, arms are not swords. They are posted standards, default scripts, and boring, repeatable processes. You don't shout, you show steel. Architecture piece 1, posted windows. Your attention isn't a buffet. It's a restaurant with hours. You publish it where the world actually knocks. Email signature, calendar link, chat status, bio. I review messages at 2. Unscheduled calls when 2:04. Old you donated an hour and resented them. Half the urgent evaporates. The rest arrives prepared. That silence isn't passive, it's a sign on the door. Rooms respect posted doors. Architecture piece 2, fences with a gate. You're not building a wall around your life, you're installing a gate with a keypad. The code is clarity. Replace mushy nose with structured nose. That doesn't work for me. Notice the micro shift. You don't explain your heart, you describe the pathway. Even people who don't like you can follow a well-lit path. Enemies will call you rigid. Allies will call you reliable. Both are correct. Architecture piece 3, one-sentence decisions. End every agenda item with a gavel, not a story. Then shut up for 5 seconds. That 5 seconds makes the decision heavy. If a real risk survives the quiet, you'll hear it plainly. If it withers, you saved 10 minutes of theater. Architecture piece 4, receipts, not rhetoric. After every key call, send a 3-line ledger. Decisions, owners, dates. No adjectives. When someone tries to rewrite history, you don't flare, you forward. Ledgers are humble and lethal. They make loud people look unserious without you saying a single spicy word. They also make you replaceable in the best way. Your systems can scale beyond your mood. Architecture piece 5, the quiet scoreboard. If it matters, measure it where others can see. Response windows, cycle time, completion rates, on-time delivery. Post the numbers weekly, not to brag, to make your culture visible. Numbers dissolve arguments. Numbers make predators pick weaker rooms. Now plug this architecture into the arenas that bleed you most. Work. You're the unofficial help desk because you answer fastest. You post windows, you hold them once, and you stop recapping for late arrivals. The third week, your DMs show up with bullets and docs. The fifth week, your throughput goes up while your cortisol goes down. Don't explain the change. Show it weekly on the scoreboard. Clients, the discount dance. Old you wrote a romance novel about value. Silence. If they ghost, good. Ghosts don't pay. If they choose, deliver exactly what they chose, on time, no sermon. Then screenshot your completion metrics and post them in your monthly update. Your calm archive becomes your marketing. Romance. If last-minute chaos is the norm, you don't lecture about respect. You post your dinner window and you stop moving it. I don't do last minute. Pings arrive, your silence teaches more about you than any paragraph. And when they do suggest times, your yes is warm again because it's priced. Family, the guilt trap. Old you sent 4 voice notes proving love. New you uses the gate, I care, and I won't, then quiet. If they escalate, your calm exposes the manipulation faster than any moral thesis. You're not cold, you're refusing to let love be a lever. Leadership. You don't fight hallway decisions with hallway arguments. The first 2 weeks, rebels will test the alley. You don't chase them there. You let their off-road choices hit the scoreboard. The team learns without you playing sheriff. 2 traps will try to drag you back into noise. Step around them. Trap 1, the clarification trial. That's bait. Do not defend your soul. Then build. Your results will rebrand you faster than your defense ever could. Trap 2, the virtue test. You refuse the premise. If they keep preaching, move the work forward or shut the door. The room will notice your outcomes, not their adjectives. Install 3 physical anchors so your body doesn't sell you out when the room heats up. Anchor A, thumb to ring finger press under the table during pauses. It gives your nervous system a job so your mouth can stay expensive. Anchor B, inhale 4, exhale 6 through the nose when heat rises. You're not calming to be nice, you're oxygenating to be precise. Anchor C, I set. Lift, 2-beat pause, finish your sentence when interrupted. Not a stare, a reminder the floor is still yours. 7-day rollout. No theatrics, just bricks. Day 1. Post your windows. Tell the team once, hold them once. 5-second hold. Day 3. Start the ledger. 3 lines after the most important call. Day 6. Stop recapping for late arrivals. They feel the cost once. Day 7. Publish a tiny scoreboard. Completed, on time, open risks. No commentary. Expect the withdrawal. Silence will feel like loss because chaos used to feel like connection. Don't refill it with apologies. Your presence will get heavier. That's not ego, that's density. Ethical frame so this power stays clean. Silence is not a punishment, it's a policy. You're not withholding affection to toy with people. You're refusing to fund confusion. You can be warm after you're clear. You can be generous after you've enforced the fence. You are not above anyone. You are simply done being beneath your own standards. Here's your closing binary. You can keep being the quickest mouth in every room and the slowest life outside it. Or you can be the quietest center, the person whose posted windows, one-sentence decisions, and boring receipts bend rooms without drama. If this series changed your cadence, like the video, subscribe and ring the bell, because the next deep dive builds your consequence ladder, how to price violations without speeches and raise cost quietly until misconduct stops or removes itself.